So if you haven't heard, George Zimmerman is actually back out of jail. But he's also back in the headlines after his recent arrest for domestic violence. Now the details, of course, is that he's out on a $9,000 bond. Now, thankfully, he doesn't have any access to his firearms. For the moment. That could change. But what I want to talk about is some of the new details about George Zimmerman's mental state and home life since his acquittal. So, some new information about that has come to light thanks to his girlfriend, Samantha Scheib. I hope I'm saying that right. Now, Scheib, of course, was interviewed by WKMG-TV about her relationship with Zimmerman. And she told him that she began her relationship with him after a February 2012 encounter. That's around the same time his wife actually filed for divorce and accused him of threatening her with a gun. Now, Scheib said she began to fear Zimmerman not soon after. You know, I wonder why. Who would be afraid of Zimmerman?
Nobody. He's an upstanding citizen.
So I hear. So she told the station that he was depressed, but she says she stayed with him because she believed that she could help. Are you buying that at all?
Definitely not. First of all, she's giving an interview about her relationship with Zimmerman, like, in the first place. Like, why is she going to the news?
Why would you even be in a relationship with Zimmerman in the first place?
Yeah, but then the purpose of her, like, she's in the relationship, but then she immediately goes to the news to tell them about her problems. Like,
Of
she's
course.
kind of a suspect person.
Yeah, it's definitely suspect. I'm not buying it. This is why. Now, Scheib and her mother apparently were texting this same station in order to get interviews with national media. Why? Because they said they thought that the media attention would protect her. No. Who does that? Seriously, who does that? But when you're in a violent situation, you get out. You don't call reporters. That's why I'm really not buying it. And to those who are wondering, well, you don't know if it was a violent situation. Well, according to prosecutors, he allegedly choked her days before he threatened her with a shotgun. I would say that their relationship was violent.
At least it's allegedly violent. She's
Alleg-
accusing him of violence.
I'm just saying that she is, and she's coming out and saying, well, he's violent. He choked me. He, threatened me with a shotgun. Now, Zimmerman, of course, has got his own story that, no, it was her that broke the table. It was her that that did all this stuff. I'm not a violent person. No. Like, there's that 911 tape that everybody should listen to.
We
I
could hear him in the background.
definitely recommend it. But get this. More allegations. According to Scheib's mother, Zimmerman allegedly sent a sexually explicit picture of him and Scheib to Scheib's daughter. Now, Florida law, we don't know how old Scheib's daughter is, for one. But she can't be that old, because Scheib's only 27. And Florida law states that it's a felony to transmit sexually explicit images to anybody who's underage. If these allegations are true, Zimmerman has unraveled as a person.
Well, I mean, like, we kind of had a sense about Zimmerman that he was a bad guy. Like, I actually agreed with the verdict based on the evidence that was presented, that he should have been found not guilty, but I never said he was innocent. And there was allegations in the past of him abusing a young girl in his own family, I believe. We knew he was a bad guy, and like there's just something about him now that it seems like he's interested in the fame, and it seems like his girlfriend's interested in the fame. So it's like a situation with a bunch of bad people. And I don't want to get too much into like the allegation of him sending an explicit picture, because I mean, there's a difference between explicit and a nude photo. A nude photo is obviously you're sending like it's a crime, but a photo of him and this girl and his girlfriend like in like attire.
No.
Would,
This was, according to the article, it was sexually explicit material. So I mean,
Right.
I'm thinking it's more of, them basically having sex.
Well,
That would make it illegal.
that would be the over the line. But like,
Way over the line.
there's obviously way over the line and out of bounds and definitely a crime. But it seems weird, right? That they're not saying that. They're saying explicit, which is a vague term. So I don't want to get too much into that. But we know this
Right,
guy's
because
a
you're going to get in the weeds, essentially.
like we know this guy's a bad guy, and I'm amused at the idea that he might be the unluckiest man in America. Like he was attacked by Trayvon, which I don't believe necessarily, and he was in that unfortunate situation, and now he's in another unfortunate situation. Like I don't think I really buy that, but um, it's just something about this guy. The right wing should have never put him up as a hero. Like
Yeah,
he's a
I
bad guy.
agree. Look, I don't think George Zimmerman's a good guy at all. I mean, but here's my question. Why do you think he keeps doing crazy shit? I mean, he literally got away with murder, right? He was acquitted, but he keeps doing crazy stuff. He keeps getting pulled over, which, minor stuff, right? But he keeps doing crazy things and landing himself back in the news.
Well, I mean,
Does
some
he want
things.
to go to jail or what? Do you think he's got a guilty conscience, or is he addicted to the fame?
I wouldn't even say he's doing like crazy things because speeding isn't crazy by any stretch,
That's
but
not crazy, but breaking somebody's iPad during a
it's
domestic dispute,
it's
that's a
it's
little
more
crazy.
it's more I would think it's more attention seeking because he took that tour of the gun factory and he let himself
Yep.
be photographed taking that tour. It's attention seeking behavior. But we also gotta like really think about it that this guy probably is like he is seeking attention, but he's also probably a really bad guy.
Yeah.
Like he's smashing tables, which I can't like it's weird because like I feel like this guy is a bad guy, but I also feel like the girl that he is with him for the sole purpose of getting information on him to increase her own personal fame. So like I'm not like
No,
I
we're
don't
on the
want to.
same page on this one because there were a couple of red flags from that girl as well. The fact that she was seeking media attention instead of leaving the relationship and hooking up with him in the first place, even after the media blitz. Like, who does that?
We have a weird thing in this country that you can become famous for like
All the
literally
wrong
anything.
reasons.
And we see this with other people who are in big public trials that even when they get acquitted, like they just can't stay out of the news. Like it's just the guy's not he's not a good guy and he could actually the funny parts of the story was there's parts of the story that I find funny is him barricading this woman out of the house,
Right.
right?
It's
Like
her house.
yeah, but it's so like I've never had to barricade. I would never think that I would have to barricade a woman out of my house, especially if I'm big like tough George Zimmerman who goes out and wants to
Exactly.
be a neighborhood watchman. Like it's this guy. I don't know. It's weird because I wanna like say that George Zimmerman's a bad guy and all that, but the girl that he's with is so uncredible. I don't want to like get really into her allegations because I don't know if any of them are true. Like she's calling media when she's saying that she's being threatened, not the police. Like she
Well, is it
wants the
really a
story out
stretch?
there.
Is it really a stretch to pretty much call them both bad?
No, they're both
Is
bad,
it
but I
fair?
look, they're both bad. I mean, George Zimmerman, like his wife wasn't a media whore by any stretch, and she accused him of similar things, like domestic
Exactly.
violence.
It's like
Right,
he's got a this record of it, and now because of all the media fame and the fact that he got off because of the bad evidence, the insufficient evidence, like you said, there wasn't enough evidence to
right.
convict him. I think personally that it's because he thinks he's above the law, and because he likes that fame. Her and her mother said that Zimmerman became really, really depressed as soon as the people stopped paying attention to him. She said that Zimmerman threatened to take his own life on multiple occasions, and the threats only came when his name fell out of the headlines. And she also thinks that Zimmerman really enjoyed the media attention.
I
So
mean, to a certain extent, I mean, to a certain extent, he probably might have, or he probably
I think
did.
he did, yeah,
He was made like the way I saw this case from the start was first it needed to be investigated because it looked suspicious,
for
and
sure.
then second it was a lot of people assuming guilt right away, like too quickly without seeing the evidence. And then it
Right,
was the
right.
trial, and like once the evidence was presented in the trial, I was like, there's not enough to convict him on the charge that they charged him with. But for him, it was he was let go, then he was a villain, and then he became like this weird hero to a certain pop percentage of the population, and like the people who vilified him were just like he just became a symbol of something that
Mhm.
he wasn't. Like he became a symbol of like people defending themselves properly with their
Yeah,
with their firearms, which is not what he not well. I mean, it's not really what he did. He wasn't proven 100% innocent. He was just proven not 100% guilty. Like
right.
and
Like
like to him,
you had to prove intent. You had to prove that
right,
intent that his intent was racial profiling, and they couldn't prove that. That's a
right.
really, really high standard.
Well, they charged him with murder. I mean, I don't want to relitigate the whole case, but they charged him with
No, of course.
murder, which would imply that he made a conscious decision,
Exactly.
and it wasn't like a crime of passion or a crime of like based on the circumstances. Like he was like, oh, I better kill this kid, and that to me that was ridiculous from the start.
That's a really high bar to
Right.
do, and you have to have a really good prosecution team. And Angela Corey was not a good prosecutor. She did not, she did not do her job in this case. But like I said, let's not relitigate it. It's
I
about
know.
whether or not. So I guess the real question here is whether or not George Zimmerman is guilty of being a media whore.
I think he is guilty of being a media whore. I actually think in this particular situation with his new girlfriend, she's more guilty of being a media whore because there was a woman who was with Tiger Woods and like three other celebrities, right?
Hmm.
And she just wanted to be that woman that was with that celebrity. Like if you remember the like scandal with Tiger
Right.
Woods and all that. Like to me, she reminds me of that woman. Now she may have been victimized, he may have attacked her. That could all be true. That is later. But the fact that
And I will actually believe some of that as well. I do believe it because Zimmerman is a dangerous guy.
yeah,
But
and he's
nonetheless, I'm on the same page with you that yes, she went seeking that fame to
right.
be with Zimmerman because he is a magnet for fame.
Like to me, like and this is I'm ridiculously speculating on her motives, but like it seems like that she has the relationship for him with him for the sole purpose of getting in the media, and the fighting and all that. While she might have been scared, he might have really like threatened her and all that. Like that's actually what she really wanted, was to get into arguments and get the police involved and get the news cameras and tell her story and all that. So it's if George Zimmerman, this is actually crazy because if George Zimmerman actually goes to trial on this stuff, and my theory about this woman's personality is right, then we might see another George Zimmerman acquittal because there'll be a
Well, that
big
depends on whether or not he actually did those things.
right.
Which I'm inclined to believe that even it had, because like if he did those things, and I have no reason not to believe
Right.
that he did those things because he has a record of doing those things before, and the
Right.
whole feeling like he's above the law kind of thing that he's also got going on. Yeah, I'm inclined to believe that he did those,
But
and
he's
I'm inclined to believe that she sought that out because
right.
she's going to get famous along with it.
And he's gonna what you call it. He's gonna run into trouble because the lawyers that got famous off of getting him found not guilty on murder, like I don't see them representing him again on these like domestic assault charges. Like
They still, yeah, he still owes them money.
those lawyers are really good lawyers, and they already got their fame. Like the whole point of them representing him was to get their names out there. So he's not going to have that legal team anymore. And if he owes them money, or
That's
which
even
is
worse.
yeah, then he's not going to be able to like he's gonna eventually. This might not be the case, and in fact, my gut tells me this won't be the case that will put George Zimmerman away. But he's gonna have that O.J. Simpson run into that motel and rob his own memorabilia moment, like type of situation. Like he's gonna have that one case where they're gonna get him for 5 to 7 years or something like that.
As for me, of course, going back to the original question, is George Zimmerman guilty of being a fame whore? Yes.
Yes.
Guilty of being a fame whore. He's definitely has to be in the spotlight. He's got to be in the news, and I actually am guilty. We are guilty here on TYT Community for helping him get back in the news. Way to go. Now we are guilty. Are we not the most fair court in the world?
Yeah,
But nonetheless,
but
guilty of being a fame whore? Definitely.
he's guilty. She's guilty. There's enough guilt to go around.
We're all guilty. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Please leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and share with your friends. If you want to see more, go to our channel at youtube.com/TYTNation. And if you really want to support the show, support this channel, go to our fundraising campaign at www.patreon.com/TYTNation. The website is in the description below. Thank you guys, and keep watching.